this is part 2 of doing the 8-speed, getting it all wired up in the 2007 to 2010 Jeep JKU. So we already went over the shifter install and kind of prepping the wire harness. Obviously got the module, all that stuff in. So next thing is we're going to do is we're going to pull this little plastic part off of the part that needs to go through your floorboard. It's actually pretty simple how this works. You can see there's 3 little tabs in there. Those line up on the connector. You can see where the little slots are for them. And then you can see a couple little tabs. My index finger's pointing to it. There's 3 of these tabs that have to be gently pushed in to slide this up and off this. So it's going to slide out that way. That way we can get it down through the floorboard of the Jeep to get it down to the transmission. I'm going to be going through, there's a hole back in here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's just behind the module and where that little stud's sticking up. And we're going to be running it down underneath the Jeep. So that way it can come back here. Pardon me as I get more comfortable. And it's going to plug into the back of the transmission right here. A little twist lock. So, but yeah, so this is the beginning of getting it all wired up. So let's go ahead and get that ran. And then we'll show where we start going into the CAN bus system. Alright, so now that we got the wire going down through the floor, kind of take the main harness, wrap it back around, kind of on the other side of the shifter, in between the shifters. There's more than enough room. This connector will go straight down into the computer. Pull it back, it'll pull itself down and lock it in place. Go till you hear it click. And then that little red tab, push it in. Okay, that's all locked in. Next part is I ran the reverse light and brake switch light wires. So I already ran those up underneath the dash, and you can see where it's playing peekaboo right here. So you see the 2 wires right there. They're all locked in. So we'll get to the wiring those here shortly. Next part is we're going to got all these extra wires. We have one that's going to have your OBD2 on it. Kind of you want to be able to put it into a spot where you can place it. I got it stuck underneath the seat here, but that way you get it. There you go. So we need to put this in a place that we can access it easily. So that way, if we ever need to pull codes off the transmission, or check temperatures, all that kind of stuff, this is what this is for. And the other thing is too is we also have the set up for where USB is going to plug in. So this just has a cap on it right now. It comes with the adapter to plug into this. So we want to go ahead and probably plug into it and figure out where we want to run this USB cable, probably somewhere where we can access it easily with a laptop, or even put this somewhere where we can access it easily and then just set that around. So it's up to you which way you want to go with that. Alright, so the next step is that we are going to be tapping into the CAN bus system on the high and low side of this system. So just to give everybody a heads up right off the bat, make sure your battery's disconnected before we start going into this procedure. Also, this is at your own risk when you use this video. My Jeep might be a little different than everybody else's. Mine's a 2008 Rubicon that used to be a manual. So I'm going off of actual OE wiring diagrams I have. They tended to change a little stuff around. I've seen in 2009, 2010. I noticed they've changed exhaust system and all that kind of stuff on these Jeeps. So, and I've also noticed a little bit of wiring differences as well. So this is something to keep in mind on what year you have. So you might need to double check with the builder that you're getting the kit from of which wires you need to tap into for the bus. But for my 2008, these are going to be the correct wires. Doesn't matter if it's manual or automatic. It's the same wires, because you can actually see I actually have the plug that goes into your automatic shifter, even though I never had an auto. So it's kind of interesting. So it uses the same harness. So again, this is for 2008 Jeep Wrangler Probably applies to a 2007 as well, most likely. Like I said though, 2009, 2010, they might have changed it around. So anyhow, so we have a high and a low on this particular Jeep. Your white with the black on this is going to be the high side of your CAN bus, and the white with the light blue is going to be the low side on the CAN bus. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be splicing. I still got the connector on here I got to cut off. This is for on the wiring harness off of the transmission for the 8-speed is your CAN connector. So we're actually going to be cutting these wires, and it's going to be weird because they do not color coordinate with what we're going to be coordinating to. The red with the white with the red stripe is actually going to be our high side on the transmission side, but that's going to get tapped into the white with the black line. Okay, now remember, I'm saying tapped, not cut, tapped into. Then your black, or white I should say, with black is going to tap into your white with blue. Okay, so again, your white with black on the Jeep JK harness is going to, this for the transmission is going to tap into your white with red. So white with red tapping into white with black for the high side. Low side, white with black is going to tap into white with light blue. And what I mean by tap in is we're going to pull some of the insulation back in a way. Okay, not cut the wires, just pull it back. Then we are going to solder them in place. So to keep these videos a little shorter, I'm going to do a part 3. So this is going to be the end of part 2 with a little blip of just what it looks like after it's wired. So I hope this is helping everybody out. This is for informational purposes only. So if you screw up, not my problem. I don't like to sound like a butthead about it, but I have to. But if you're really not comfortable with wiring and understanding this kind of stuff, highly suggest taking it to someone that does. So again, I hope all these videos have been helping everybody out with this install of the 8-speed of how to wire it. So after splicing, it should look a little something like this. It's impossible to do shrink wrap, obviously, because we're tapping into the wire, not cutting the wire. So what I did is I did solder the wire. So our high side, which is white with red, goes to our high side for the bus, white to black, and then the transmission again, bus, low side, is white black to white light blue. In this 2008 JK, on mine, what's cool is the wires are actually twisted together for the bus system. For the high and low, they're just wrapped together and ties into everything that route. So I hope this all worked out for this part of wiring the 8-speed. There's still more to come. Like I said, everything's kind of tedious. It's going to take some time, take some patience. We still got the reverse lamp, brake lamp sight, positive, negative, or ground I should say, and also ignition on as well. So, and we'll show you where we tap in for that stuff in part 3. Thanks for joining Adventures of Sarge. See ya.